Hey everybody, this is James from South Texas RC and BRB Racing. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Well, I am out and about today with a horrible, under my left shoulder blade. It's got a pinched nerve or something. But we are going to have some kind of an RC adventure today and show you all what I have been working on. I ended up going, and when I got the Traxxas Max, I traded off majority of all of my nitros. I got rid of them except one. I kept my T-Max. And long story short, with the trade-in values that I had, I got the Max, and then my wife wanted to get into the RC also. So I got her a Traxxas Slash 4x4, and it was a brushed system. And I'm like, you know what? Sweet. It was used like 2-3 times, and it got returned back to the store. For some reason, you know, the kid that got it as a gift couldn't control it. The parent made a bad decision. But anyway, long story short, I bought that vehicle thinking I'm going to upgrade it to the brushless, be done with it. She wanted to put the larger tires on it, make it the Monster Slash. Super. I get it all put together. First run, not so good. She was complaining about some sounds in the drivetrain. I fixed that up. Then the next thing you know, here we go with, she takes it, she runs it, she flips it, breaks a tie rod. I mean, these tie rods are like dental floss thick. They're not even near what the 4x4 Slash, the brushless, come as. So I went ahead and put the tie rod links in. You know what? It's still going to have issues, it's still going to have problems. And the upgrade was a bad idea because it seemed like nowadays when they put those brush systems together, they put the cheap of the cheap in there, just basic beginner car, and it can't handle it. So then I found one at a pawn shop, and it is the Platinum lowered chassis, and I got a hold of it. I transferred all her components over, lights, everything else, and so far so good. Everything's built, but it came with the onboard audio. She doesn't want the onboard audio, yet the speakers are missing because the shell was damaged. I actually have it here in the car with me. So here's what's left of the shell, and of course you see it was drilled out and had the audio speakers in there at one point in time. So I'm going to go get a speaker, probably from an All-Tex, make it cheaper. Get the brackets, they're like 10 bucks. Get those from the RCHQ over here off of Nacogdoches Road. And then transfer the onboard audio over to the 4x4 Slash, the regular standard one that I got for her, because when you really look at it, having the smaller tires on the one that's not a lowered chassis, it's going to work out. But you put the bigger tires on no, it just don't work out. The lowered chassis, larger tire, center of gravity puts it just right. So I'm going to put this other little guy back to stock, but I am going to put all the upgrades in it that it needs. But for the meantime, I am at the RCHQ location here in the mall, and they do have one of these massage therapy people in the front of the mall. So I'm going to go check them out first, get my arm back in working order, and then we'll have some fun. Alright everybody, so needless to say, I tried out the place downstairs. There was a language barrier. The reason why I'm vibrating like I'm in a storm or something is because I'm in one of the chairs now upstairs, because I kept specifying I want the left side done. You get the left and the right, and then you pray that they get back to the left, and they got back to the left, and they're like, oh good, okay, and paid them cash. They didn't want to use their credit card machine. And then they have this tip jar they slam on the counter, and they go, you tip, and I'm all like, okay, here's like $2 cash more. So this is $5 for 15 minutes, and I'm actually getting the ball up under my shoulder blades. So here we go. Get the shimmy going on. All right, everybody, back in the car. So I'd have to say, just as an overall experience, 30 minutes at an actual massage table, 30 minutes of the chair that is just an automated device. So there's that survey says for the day. Now we're heading off to RCHQ on Nacogdoches Road. And we have arrived. Well, there was no luck at Altex, but went home, did some Googling, did some searching, did some thinking, and ta-da! Ba-da! Alright, so basically, looks like it's not going to be an exact fit, but it will be able to set down inside, push it in, and then I checked the overall height. The overall height looks about right, so there we go. Okay, so I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off, doing other things, trying to get RC time in here. So I went ahead, hooked up the onboard audio to the tweeters I got. It's way too tinny, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm just going to have to buy the actual speaker. Then there's another thing. Let me get this shell off. Of course, by the way, guys, this is my wife's truck right here. It's come a long way. And like I said, I'll show you the other one that we originally started with. Got Pro Line screw caps on here. So I was going to go ahead and swap the receiver and take it out and take the control out because it has the third channel on it to operate the onboard audio. And then I start looking back here and there's another wire coming out of the speed control, which then hooks into the darn onboard audio. And I'm like, oh crap. So that's not gonna work. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna, it's posted on OfferUp, guys, here in San Antonio, 45 bucks, 2 brand new brackets and the audio system box. The thing was like 6508 is the part number for the speakers. They're like 35 bucks. So if y'all are interested in here in town, look for it. You can buy it from me. But anyway, long story short, so you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and leave the remote alone, leave the receiver alone. Just pop that wire inside. So be it. Went ahead, put her on her dual fans up here for her. So everything's set, ready to rock and roll. Got the tires, and of course, like I was saying before, the lower center of gravity, and then putting the monster tires, they complement themselves. It works well. So there is the truck, and let me show you my disaster. Oh, first, let me explain why the disaster. So you've got, sorry about the shadow there, steel toe link, steel tie rod, yada yada, same thing back here, right? The other one, I'll show you. So yeah, anyway, here it is, and it works. Brand new brackets. Oh boy, bad idea. But yeah, so that wire from the speed control actually plugs in to this fella, goes in there, and the other speed controller, of course, doesn't have that auxiliary wire, so won't, won't, won't. But going forward, and of course, this is what I tried. Hey, I plugged it in, it worked. It came on, it tested it, it worked, but no. So, this is what I was working with prior. And of course, it's a rolling disaster right now. So I did stick this brushless system in here. And of course, see, it's an older system, an oldie but a goodie, but it was good. First thing she did was snap the tie rods. And I tell you what, these tie rods, I'm not going to go look for the one that broke, but they were, like I said, dental floss. They were so easy to break, so she broke those. You got the toe links there are just plastic. And this is the TRX model. And of course, it's not a lowered chassis. So when I go back and put the factory Slash wheels back on it, it'll be the right height. Now, what am I going to do with this? Let me show you. This guy right here is a 2-wheel drive. And of course, when we bought hers, the new used unit, it came with 2 body shells. So I was able to snag me a body shell. And this was a Monster Slash 2-wheel drive, but it was just, So I said, let me put it back to factory. So I put those rims on it, put the body shell on it. But you know what? 2-wheel drive is 2-wheel drive, guys. Yeah. So this truck here, I'm going to take apart, yes, you heard it, dun, 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 take apart and put it in the other unit. So I'm using the tires, the body shell, and the brand new brushless system, new version, out of it and dropping it in the other truck. All right, bagged up and ready to be sold. Of course, everybody, here is my Slash, but as you see, okay, what the, well, I had to use a tire. That build on her truck really kicked my butt. It seemed like it was just raining Traxxas Slash tear on me. So I know her truck, crossing the fingers, is good to go. So I went ahead, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice a tire because the other roller came with some Proline trenchers. So those are going to go onto my truck. And then, of course, I had to take off the lifted kit for the body because the one I had was dummy for a two-wheel drive off the other two-wheel drive car I just showed y'all. That's not going to work. So welcome more money pit. I got another lift. Yay. So yeah, this has just been problem after problem after problem. Now I do have the classic remote on this one, the 2.4 when they first came out, but the other two-wheel drive that I gutted out, I'm probably going to put that one in here because it's a lot more comfortable feel. So let me grab some stuff real quick and get cracking. So here's this two-wheel drive. Like I told you guys, I got bored. So I took this down because this is just an old, this is actually the first electric that I got after the Nitro, and it's an older chassis, and it's starting to have issues. It's starting to get hairline cracks. You know what? I'm going to take parts off of this, put it on the other one, make that two-wheel drive. Guess what? Still not happy. So I've got a couple of two-wheel drive rollers, a Rustler and a Slash here by the end of this craziness. But what I was talking about is this is the transmitter that I eventually put onto the Rustler. This is what's currently on my Slash now. Don't get me wrong. It's a great remote. But if you lose program on these suckers and the menu tree that you have to go through to program this, Plus, like I said, it feels like the older controls, bigger, flippy antenna, more sleek. I think they called this the phaser. Remember, a guy was like, it's the phaser remote. Pew, pew. So, this is what I'm going to put in it. And that one's out of the way. And that one's in. And all I had to do was program it, which is basically plug in a battery, turn on your remote, hold this down till the light turns red, release. You'll see it blink, full throttle. Blink, blink, full reverse. Blink, blink, green, you are now set. Okay, well that is now installed, ready to rock. Hey guys, I'm going to eventually get a new receiver box because this thing's getting gnarly. It still holds. So we're back on track. Let me slap the tires on. And the mounts. Oh yeah, big difference. Not a trencher. Trencher. That's starting to look more like my Slash again. Make sure when you put these on, guys, the instructions, unfortunately, they show how to install tires, it looks like. It's kind of funny. So you buy Proline body mounts, and the card, of course, comes labeled as parts 3 and 4, 1 and 2, etc., right? So you think, okay, just for safety's sake, that way I don't do anything stupid and put something in the wrong place, especially when you're tired. I'm going to open this up, and it'll tell me, you know, just precautions, 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 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 Gluing instructions, tire care, no. But when you do it, these here are going to be basically V. So just think victory in your mind. V, V, and V. So V, V. That's how they point. And then, of course, on Monster Slash, I max these all the way out. I turn these about 15 turns. That gives them the good height. And then, of course, on this one, it's what you can count from here down is 11 holes. Is how I have mine set up. it is together. Nice. Alright, the end to a disastrous day. So far, tried the onboard audio, found out that the electronic speed control has to have the wire for the onboard, didn't want to swap. Yeah, just no. But if anybody does want that, you know, give me a shout out. I did post it on the offer up for in San Antonio. So other than that, I'm only asking what I've got into the whole project. You know, fair is fair, 45 bucks probably. But anyway, long story short, I did notice that the only thing the good old Slasher here needs is going to be eventually another handle on the side. The receiver case is kind of getting a little, but it's been well beaten. Now it's dark outside. Thank God I've got the headlights, and now it's starting to rain on me. So, fun stuff. But let's do a few runs anyway with it. Of course, I'm recording with my phone, and then, of course, the phone screen wants to freak out a little bit because of the water droplets, but hey, end of a good day, right? I like the grip that those Pro lines give it. Nice. Let's get a view down the street the other way. Of course, we got somebody backing out, so we don't want to get run over. Alrighty. I don't know if I want to do full going all the way down or all the way back. Let's see. Oh, no, here comes another car. Here to record headlights tonight, guys. My headlights and theirs. And they're a slow mover. They're probably going to want to pull up right where I'm standing. Let me stop for a moment. False alarm. That was my neighbor. They just pulled in their driveway. Alright, so here we go. And full trigger. So the tires are definitely hitting. I need to raise the body up a little bit more. Or trim them back. And full trigger. Another car. Rather than raise the body, I'm thinking about, because that's just going to put more of a tilt, I might just trim a little off the ears of the body shell around the fender wells, because you can definitely hear it hit. I don't know though. It's not that bad. I might just let it burn the plastic off by itself. You can see it when it balloons. Just touching a little bit right there. It's not that horrible. Not that bad. Probably shave it back just a hair though. Just a hair. I don't like the noise it makes, the scraping sound. Alright, let me try to do a couple of more little runs with it, and then it's time to go in for the night. Alrighty, and full trigger. Up, coming down, and full trigger. Oh God, I love this Slash. Full trigger. One more, and line her up, full trigger. So other than the trenchers being a little bit thicker of a tire and rubbing a little bit on that back, not too bad. So like I said, I'll probably trim that up just a hair. So that's about it for today, guys. You already know what the next upcoming project is. I'm going to take that two-wheel drive Slash and tear it apart and rebuild that four-wheel drive regular chassis and make it more along the line of a stock with the stock tires, and it's just going to complement it better. So until next time, guys, this is James from South Texas RC and BRB Racing, and I am out.